Try to refresh the page. Let me try again.
Well, I just got a pop-up that we're live, so.
Yeah, we are. We're live now. So this is the starting soon. Apparently, we don't have that type of screen for this show yet, but eventually we'll have it. Just not right now. So anyway.
I'm Brant. He's Chris. We put on a show you just can't miss. He says cowabunga. I say yo, Joe. Welcome to the Kristin Brant Show.
And that's our intro.
That's it. I need to have it a little bit louder. It's kind of soft.
It was softer?
Oh, no, I mean, it's just the way I recorded it. I need to record a better copy.
Oh, hello, Toxic Rose, sending out the hearts early.
Sweet.
Thank you for the hello. Welcome to the stream, my dear. Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully your husband's doing well. He's a Chris. So she married a Chris. She married the best of the best. Brant's also the best of the best. Maybe her husband's middle name is Brant. So it's like Chris Brant. There's JD. Hi, JD.
Hey, what's up, JD?
Hard thing.
Nice.
Okay, so the Kristin Brant Show, we're back. Oh, we were doing the ads, weren't we? I didn't ad. I just put.
That's cool. That's cool. I already had it in there from previous. So.
I'm sharing comments. I'm testing this out. So for the first couple of comments, I'm going to be popping them up, making sure they look good. Tell us we are powered. I'm going to start this off before we reintroduce the show. We are powered right now through Streamyard. Streamyard. No, I almost said lab. Streamlab is for Twitch. This is powered by Streamyard. If you'd like to check it out, there will be a link in the description later. If you click it, if you're interested and you decide to back Streamyard or buy the basic version, it helps out this channel. It helps out Comic Frontline, and it helps you all out. So if you like live streaming and you're looking for a live stream service now that Google Hangouts are gone, Streamyards. And I'm sure Brant's already looking for the link because I see him looking at stuff.
Oh, no, but I will get it.
Yeah, you can just throw it in the comments if anything.
Sure.
That'd be perfect. You can click that. If you want to join, you join. It helps us out, it helps you out, and it builds Streamyard up. Streamyard is an awesome service. I will say that much. We've been loving it. So, anyway, the Kristin Brant Show. We haven't done this type of show. How long has it been, Brant?
Oh, man. I don't even know, man.
Has it been 2 years? Maybe 2 years?
It's at least been a year, maybe longer, maybe a year and a half. I don't really know. I honestly don't know.
This looks a lot better quality.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. Welcome to the show. A lot better than I clarified, than Hangouts.
Yeah. Actually, sorry, not to change the subject, but I actually think the link is in the description of the video already.
Oh, sweet. So if you click the link in the description, it'll take you to Streamyard, and you can check it out there.
I could be wrong. Maybe I didn't put it in there.
Oh, okay, Toxic. Just wanted to pop in and show some love. Have a great stream. Thank you so much, Toxic, for showing up. Hopefully you come back later and check out the video maybe. We're going to be talking a few things tonight. We're going to be reintroducing the show, talking Batman Hush, DC Comics, and then we're going to close it off with Absolute Carnage and then just have a random talk for a while. Maybe we'll talk Fortnite. Who knows? I know Brant, the last time we played together, Brant, those are times. Those are fun times.
Yeah, we'll get back there. All right, I found the link. No, that's the wrong link. Yes, but I will get it in a second. It'll be in the chat.
Okay. So the Kristin Brant Show, reintroducing our show. Sorry, I was being distracted over in this corner. So the Kristin Brant Show is the show where myself and Brant, we get together and we talk about a lot of things. We had a lot of podcasts a couple of years ago. We had 123 podcasts. We had Hit Points, which turned into Hit Points. Turned into another Hit Points.
Yep. And Hit Points, what was it? I can't remember what it was called.
Reloaded or something? I know we did something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact subtitle we put on there, but we did put something on there.
And Ryan says he's got to go. Thank you for stopping in, Ryan. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
So we were doing a bunch of different podcasts for a bunch of different things. So then the Kristin Brant Show came about. And Brant and I decided, hey, we like all these things. Why don't we just do it as a Kristin Brant Show? And then we did a lot of testing. I'll never forget that 8 in the morning stream that we'll never, ever, ever do again.
No.
At least not live. We'll record it and put it up at 8 in the morning, but there's no way I'll ever do a morning.
Nobody was there.
Nobody was there. We were dying. We were half asleep. I think by the time when we finished, we both went to bed again.
Well, I mean, the thing is, we had both stayed up to do it. So we were up all night, and then we were trying to pull it together, and we were both slap happy and tired. And it was crazy.
I'm glad I saved it, though. And that used to be our Dark Avenger C86. Now we're on my main channel. And some cool news. Brant might at some, I think we're going to, are we, or it's not 100% yet?
I don't know what you're asking me.
For your channel.
Yeah, we're going to do it. And we're at least going to try it out for a while, see how it goes.
Okay, so we're going to be switching it up. So on this channel, it's going to be the Kristin Brant Show, the original title. And then on Brant's channel, we're going to be going over and doing the Brant and Chris Show. And that's going to be next month. So next month, we're going to be live on Brant's channel, and hopefully at some point, we're hoping to do a Kristin Brant Show and Brant and Chris Show both in 1 month. So one on his channel, one on mine. There's the Brant and Chris Show, right? How come my face is so much better on the Brant and Chris Show?
It's the same face.
Wait, no, but I have different ones.
I know. I updated it.
Oh, you updated it. Okay. Yeah. Good. I was about to, because I have this one.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah, no, I updated it from that one.
Okay.
That's the old one.
That's the old one, so I'm getting rid of that right now. Boop,
yeah.
Gone. This is what happens. This is what happens when you don't know what you're doing on StreamYard. So, we're back after 2 years of trying to figure out what we want to do with the stream, whether we want to be live, a video, how we were going to go about doing it. So this is an everything show, by the way, just to clarify. Video games, comic books, movies, TV, comic book writing, everything. Such a young face. We look exactly the same. Hi, Tevia. And go out.
Hey, Tevia.
The dog's not out. They go out. They're out. So the everything show is back. And we were just trying to figure out how we wanted to start it. And I'm going to send it over to Brant. Oh, he's that way. Send it over to Brant now because I forgot my camera's flipped. So I'm going to send it over to Brant now to say what we decided to start with.
We decided to start with Batman Hush because it just came out. It hit, the release was last week, and then it hit DC Universe this week. So I got an opportunity to watch it, at least, and I actually watched it last night, so it's fresh in my mind. But we thought that was a perfect way to come back. We can talk about the latest animated movie, and we got an event with Marvel going on with the comics. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about some other stuff. So it just seemed like the perfect fit. We run through some ideas, and we were supposed to launch this like 2 months ago, and then last month, and it's like, just things didn't line up. And then it was like, Chris was like, this movie's coming out. You want to watch it? Talk about it? I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
Because the last time we did a Kristin Brant show, I think it was on, Frontline, and it was Defenders. It was Iron Fist.
Defenders, yeah, you're right. It was Defenders.
We watched the whole series of Defenders.
So whenever that came out was the last time we did this.
And it was on Frontline. So now we're on our main channels again. And by the way, we are doing a giveaway. I do have a code for the digital version of Batman Hush.
Yes.
So somebody in our comments between today and tomorrow, we're going to take the names, put them into a randomizer, and one of our lucky commenters, whether they be live or post-live, because, again, we want to give everybody an equal chance. Somebody might win this code. So if you want to win this code, definitely say, enter me. All you have to say is enter me, and we will put whoever says enter me within the next 48 hours into a pool, and the winner will get a digital copy of Batman Hush from us.
Yeah.
For the first episode back. Enter me. So JD's already entered.
I want to comment on this. I did not know Krypton got canceled, and I'm really sad now. Is that official?
That's sad.
I really like the show.
I've got to laugh at this. So Tevia says, I've seen Batman Hush. It was really disappointing. And then literally his next comment is
enter me. Yeah, it's like, it's disappointing, but I still want a copy. That's fine. That's fine. That's all good. It's kind of funny.
Man, never a dull moment with you, Tevia. Oh, God.
But we'll get into that. We'll get into our thoughts on that. If Krypton, I want to look that up just to verify that it's official.
And while Brent's looking it up, I do want to make mention of this, and this is a perfect example, like what's happening now. While we do have a structure for the Kristin Brant Show, that doesn't mean we don't go off the rails. Like, for example, right now, what's happening with Krypton. We'll talk about this since this is news. But when we do get into the main topic, which is Batman Hush, then obviously we will be talking Batman Hush for the duration. But then if something pops up in between subjects, we'll continue talk. We'll talk about that, and then we'll get back on track again. This isn't off the track. If you've heard a podcast with Brant and I, if you happen to be lucky enough to hear a related recap with Brant and I, where we called a number that Brian Michael Bendis put in a comic book that led to a porn call site, I want you to find that clip.
Yeah,
I need that.
It happened. It's real.
It really happened, and Brant has it somewhere, and we need it's gone now. You can't find it, but we need to put it on the show so it's officially out there again.
I think I know where it might be, actually. So I just got to figure out which episode it was.
Okay, so when Brant finds out the episode, it'll be a special little segment. Maybe we'll just make a video of that.
Yeah,
put it on the channel.
It was on the recap, right?
Yes, it was on the related recap.
Yeah.
I think it was the first or second one we did, so I know I can narrow it down to those two.
Because I'm pretty sure that's still on Comic Related's YouTube channel.
If it is,
unless Chuck deleted all that, we'll see.
We have to find out. But if he did, Brant has it on file somewhere, and we'll get it back. We'll get it back, and I'll make a video out of that one segment for everyone.
It was priceless. It was so priceless.
Oh, it was so good.
So yeah, it is official. Krypton has been canceled.
For season 3 or season 2 is the last season?
Season 2 is the last season. What was a cliffhanger is now the finale. The Lobo spinoff apparently is canceled as well. I'm bummed about
wait a minute. So Krypton's over with there's no conclusion? It's just going to be left on a cliffhanger?
Yeah, the article, I skimmed it real quick. It said there were some promising twists at the end, but now we're not going to see what happened after that. So
we're gonna see it to be continued, but it's like Lois and Clark.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh,
maybe it'll get picked up by Netflix or something later on. Who knows?
Maybe the DC streaming service.
Maybe
it's on there. It's on there. Krypton season 1. So hopefully, I hope they at least do one more season and tie up loose ends. That's hard. Yeah. This is why I don't like sci-fi. And when and we talked about this on Frontline, when they mentioned that Krypton was going to be on sci-fi, I said it then and I'll say it now. Sci-fi is notorious for canceling shows that are popular at their peak.
Yeah, and the thing is, this was a show that none of us on Frontline were like excited for when they announced it, because it's like, oh, we don't need this. This is going to be boring and stuff. And then I don't know if you ever got a chance to watch any of it, Chris.
I have season 1. Yeah, I bought it on DVD, Blu-ray.
Okay, yeah. When we watched it, it was like, oh my god, this is so good. It was so surprising, and now I'm like really bummed. Lisa was just asking me. She was like, she saw it was on DC Universe last night, and she was like, "Oh, I can watch it there." And I'm like, "Yeah." We didn't know it was canceled, so now she's going to be bummed because she was about to start getting into it. I don't know if she'll actually do it now. I hope
DC picks it up. DC picked up Young Justice. That was canceled, so I'm hoping one season. We got to start a movement and at DC and get them to do one more season of Krypton.
Yeah, just wrap it up. Yeah, do something to wrap it up. Even if it's just like a movie to wrap it, all the cliffhangers or all that stuff. You know,
definitely. All right, but let's get into the main topic, which is I clicked overlay instead of background. I'm still getting used to StreamYard. Pardon me. Boop.
I wish they were on different tabs, the overlays and the...
Right? It would make it so much easier, like the banners. The banners were... It's easy. You just go to a banner and like you click, like that and that. And then now we're talking about that. So, Batman Hush. I was not feeling the way Tevia was, that's for sure. I liked it. I mean, let's start with a generalized, and then we'll go into spoilers, I guess.
Yeah.
Generalizing without any spoilers, I liked it. I thought my only complaint was that they're still using the new 52 costumes.
Yeah. And some elements from the new 52 as well.
Yeah, the Catwoman scene with Batman.
And Damian.
Yep.
And the Burnside costume for Batgirl, which I had to go back. Yeah, I had to go back and look. At the time that Hush actually came out, Batgirl was still Oracle.
Yeah, that's right. Barbara was paralyzed.
Yeah.
This is Hush is pre-New 52 that they're redoing in New 52.
Yeah.
So even Hush is, I won't spoil Hush's identity, but
yeah.
I will ask this, and I'm only going to say that, and then we'll get into the spoilers after you do your broad. One thing I got to ask you, Brant. When they revealed who Hush was, were you disappointed?
I was conflicted. And I can't really say more than that until we get into the spoiler section. I was very conflicted about it. When I thought about it more, I had further thoughts, which I'll go into when we get into the spoilers. So I think overall, at the end, I'm kind of okay with it. But we'll talk about it.
All right. So, what did you generally think of the movie?
Yeah, I thought overall it was pretty faithful. There were a lot of elements that were very similar to the storyline, and then there was a lot of little changes. Like Huntress was in the original, and we had focus on Nightwing and stuff. The breakup with Catwoman and Batman was kind of the same for different reasons. They broke up the same way, but it was for different reasons, and it kind of made sense.
I failed to mention that. I never read Hush.
Oh, you never read it?
I've only ever read the one issue with Superman, so that's the only thing I could compare and contrast to.
Oh, dude. I mean, it was Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee. I was there. I read the whole thing.
I wish I would have read it. I want to get the book.
The one major difference was it wasn't Bane in the comic. It was Killer Croc in that scene.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
I have no clue what you're talking about. I know the Bane scene, so you're saying just switch Bane up for Killer Croc.
Exactly. It was Killer Croc that kidnapped the kid.
Yeah.
All that stuff. That was all Killer Croc. I mean, there was Jim Lee.
They probably took Killer Croc out because of Suicide Squad.
That's exactly what I told Lisa. I remember distinctively this special cover that Jim Lee did of Killer Croc where it was like super detailed and everything. But I mean, yeah, they just changed things up a little bit for characters that were more familiar to that animated world that they've kind of built up. Mm-hmm. So I was okay with it. It made sense, the changes that they made. So I thought it was pretty good. The only thing, like you said, was the New 52 New 52 aspects of it were a little like, I wish they kind of move away from that and just kind of do their own thing. Mm-hmm. But overall, I was pretty solid.
Do you think that this might be DC's way of keeping the New 52 alive by instead of having it in the comic? Because we obviously went through Rebirth and now we're back. Yeah. It's like a mix mash of New 52 and DC. Do you think this is their way of continuing the New 52 without it being technically the New 52? Because it's the costumes, same backgrounds. They've changed Superman and Lois. I mean, they did the death and everything. Maybe this is their way of keeping New 52-esque stuff alive.
I mean, it's definitely possible. And why not? I mean, it's a completely different universe that has nothing to do with anything. So go for it. Lisa had an interesting theory that they were trying to build some kind of continuity between the animated movies, which I hadn't really thought about. Mm-hmm. On a couple of them, yeah. But it's like when you think about it, and the Lex Luthor reference to him being on the Justice League and all that in this movie, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, when Batman goes and Lex is like, don't forget I'm a member, and he's like, when we need you, we'll call you.
Yeah, and I was like, when she brought that up, I was like, yeah, maybe that is what they're doing. Maybe they're trying to make it, and that's fine. You know, more power to them to actually doing some continuity there. So,
all right, so now I'm going to go into the brands, and I'm going to warn everyone before we continue. We are about to talk spoilers. If you did not watch Batman Hush and do not want to be spoiled, simply, if you're watching live, mute us until you see the background changes, because we will change the background once we're done with Batman Hush, and stick around because, it helps us out, and we are going to be talking other things. Or, if you're watching this as a video, fast forward, or pause the video, go watch the movie, and then come back.
There you go.
And that's
it is on DC Universe for anybody that's a subscriber.
It is. I want to actually fix the overlay real quick, because I realized I did not have. I am on. Why is Frontline?
No, I added Frontlines in case we wanted to promote them later.
Oh, okay, I got it. I got you. I'm sorry, it's my fault. Boop.
There we go.
And then I could change this to boop.
Yeah.
Or I could just turn it off completely. I turn it off completely. looks good like this.
Yeah, that works.
For a second. Powered by Streamyard. So spoilers.
Yes.
It was the butler. Alfred's the best. It's always Alfred.
It was the butler. The butler's voice was weird. Alfred's voice was weird in this one, I gotta say.
A few of the voices were gotta get you. Joker's voice was a little let's go into the spoilers first, and then we'll do like another generalize after the spoilers, kind of like ending. So Brant, I started you start spoiler.
All right. So I mean, do we want to tackle the big one?
No, thank you. Let's tackle like from the beginning and work our way to the end kind of deal.
Okay, so anybody that's not familiar with this whole storyline, it's basically some mystery person named Hush is kind of using different Bat villains to kind of cause chaos in Batman's world, and is kind of they're going off book a little bit, and he's kind of pulled into this whole thing and trying to figure out who's after him. And throughout the process, he realizes that whoever this is knows that Bruce Wayne is Batman, and that whole thing. This was also where they really started exploring the Catwoman Batman relationship, both in the comics and in the movie, which was, I thought it was really interesting because you got to see the duality there, as Bruce is dating Selina and Batman's dating Catwoman, and he knows but she doesn't. So it was really interesting.
Well, when he revealed it, I thought that was a really powerful. I like that scene, especially what followed right after. I mean, I hate waiting, but man, it was worth it.
I love the montage when they were crime fighting, and they just showed them like beating up different villains and stuff, and it was pretty cool. It kind of like. It dipped into like current continuity a little bit. It's kind of showing where they are, or at least where they were back before issue 50. Mm-hmm. So that was fun. That was a nice little nod to their relationship and everything, and it made the impact of them breaking up more powerful, I thought. Yeah. So and then you throw in Damian there at his that comment where he was like, use protection. It's like, that's bye, Damian. We're good. See you later. Yeah. So, I mean, the whole thing, we get introduced to this doctor, Thomas Elliot, who is an old friend of Bruce's, and they kind of get reacquainted and all that stuff. And you kind of start planting the seeds of doubt with that character and so on and so forth. And then you get the whole double dating thing. And then this whole thing starts with all the villains popping up, and Bane's acting dumber than usual, and all this stuff, and kidnapping a kid, which is weird, and all this stuff. So it's Batman's following the clues, and he finally gets to the point where he's starting to put things together, and the Riddler is involved, which he was involved in the comic as well, for anybody that doesn't know. And then we'll get to the major spoiler at the end as to who Hush is. But that's kind of basically what happens. Poison Ivy is a big part of this. She is controlling all these villains. And
she controlled Superman.
She controlled Superman.
Issue I knew.
Yeah, exactly. So they pulled that straight from the comics as well, which I love that. But she was also being manipulated, so in her own way. So it was just this whole game of cat and mouse where this Hush guy is just baiting Batman at every turn, and you don't know why until the end, obviously. So, did I leave anything out? Yeah.
No, yeah. The only thing I can comment on, compare and contrast with the comic, and I felt it was very faithful, honestly, to the comic, was the Superman one. I mean, when they're in the sewer, and he's like, "I released a gas line. You can't use your heat vision." Then he says, "I lied." And then using Lois as a means to kind of like snap Clark out of the mind control. I'm glad they kept all of that in. Mm-hmm. I just really, this was a fun movie for me. I didn't feel as disappointed. I think my disappointment happened at the point where we're going to get to at the end, which was, I guess you did that. I'll do the ending.
Sure.
Because I agree everything you said. I liked everything. I didn't know that they replaced Bane for Killer Croc because, again, I didn't read it. I should actually go get the trade now. I actually feel like I want to get it.
It's actually, the whole thing is on DC Universe if you just want to read it on there.
There you go. I'm going to read it on DC Universe later.
Yeah.
But the ending, this is where it went from, it's a good movie, because I was in a middle ground with the movie up to this point. I thought it was good. Again, I have my gripes with the new 52 costumes. I like what Lisa thought, because I was thinking the same thing, that they're keeping all this in continuity, which is why Jason Todd wasn't Hush, because they already had Under the Red Hood. So he was Red Hood. Technically, that took place after Hush, Red Hood.
Mm-hmm.
So it's already conflicting. But when they made this character Hush, it was like, oh. And then they redid the origin of Hush. I was like, I would have rather it have been Clayface, like in the original comic where it was Clayface, and then they changed it so that Jason Todd was alive. Like Clayface was pretending to be Jason Todd.
Okay. Let me interject here, because maybe you don't actually know who it was.
Wasn't it Clayface pretending to be Jason Todd?
Yes and no.
Okay. So then I don't know all the way.
Okay. So there's a reason they introduced Thomas Elliot at the beginning of the movie here. The old friend, the doctor. And why there was like these weird looks between them and everything. And Lisa, at the first scene, she was like, that's the guy, that's Hush. And I didn't say a word. Okay, in the comic, yes, Jason Todd was unmasked and it was supposed to be him, and it ended up being Clayface. But that was just a misdirection. That wasn't the actual guy. The actual guy was Thomas Elliot.
So it was the doctor in the original comic. Yeah,
and they were, in the comic, they were childhood friends. And Thomas's parents had, or at least I think his dad had died, but his mom lived. And it was Bruce's dad that was the doctor that was taking care of them. And Bruce thought that Thomas Elliot was upset because he let his mom die or whatever, or his dad die. But the truth is, Thomas Elliot had tried to kill his parents as a kid. Mm-hmm. And he was mad that one of them got saved and Bruce's family had messed all that up. So, so that was the major twist, that it was supposed to be Thomas Elliot and it ended up not being.
Then that's kind of a letdown even more. I thought they just weren't going to do the Jason Todd route. I didn't know. Well, that's a kind of that was a bit more. So let's get into the reveal. The reveal was that it was the Riddler. The Riddler had gone into the Lazarus pit because he was dying. If I remember correctly, he was dying or something was wrong with him.
Yeah, he had a brain tumor.
Brain tumor. That's right, brain tumor because of Batman. And he went into the Lazarus pit multiple times, and apparently being in the Lazarus pit gave him clarity to figure out who Batman really was. It's like, oh, wow. So apparently if you want to know Batman or any superhero's identity, just jump into the Lazarus pit about 5 times.
Yeah, and that was a bit of a stretch, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you jump into the Lazarus pit and you do the glasses thing, you know, maybe you'll figure out Clark Kent's Superman. Just saying. But that was a disappointment. That kind of disappointed me, and that was when I thought it was Jason Todd / Clayface.
Yeah.
Now knowing it was Thomas Elliot and it was played off perfectly in the show, in the movie, and then they just didn't go that route. That's even more disappointing, honestly.
Yeah.
Sorry. Wow, you just gonna put that out there, huh?
I was slightly disappointed at first. Okay, that was my reaction too, because obviously I knew the actual story, and they had built it up throughout the entire thing. You mean I cannot be 40 anymore, and I can be Batman?
Yeah, sure.
Exactly.
They need to be Batman.
So I mean, they built it up that it might be Thomas Elliot the whole time, and I'm thinking it's Thomas Elliot the whole time, but I knew there was a twist, and I didn't know what it was until that reveal. So in the comics, Riddler was there. He went to the Lazarus pit. All that stuff was the same. The only thing that changed was him actually being Hush.
Oh, okay. So that did happen with the tumor and everything.
Yeah, it did happen. I mean, yeah, and he figured out who Batman and Bruce Wayne. Batman was Bruce Wayne. All that stuff
doesn't make sense. Why would they change the movie so drastically if it was? Okay.
I think the reason they did it was, one, to give people something that they hadn't seen in the comic, maybe just to change it up a little bit, and two, because nobody knew who Thomas Elliot was until this movie, right? If you didn't read that comic, you have no idea who Thomas Elliot is. So I guess that's why.
I guess. I like that they used New 52 Riddler, though, before the whole shaving and the brain tumor cut.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now I kind of beginning and middle were good. For me, the ending kind of lacked, especially the reveal and then the big fight at the end, and then Riddler dies. We all know dead is never dead when it comes to comic books, because Batman tries to save him. The whole factory from the fight is exploding. Catwoman just cuts the line and says, "You're not going to die for him." They run off, and like Brant said, she sees that he's kind of crazy and that he'll always try to do the right thing, and she changed for him or for them, but Batman, no matter what, will never change his ways, even for their relationship. And that,
yeah, but see, I had a slight problem with that.
uh-huh.
I get, and Lisa and I had this whole same discussion because she brought it up just like you did. But I understand her point of he'll never change for me, and I changed so much for him. I get that, but at the same time, he basically became the bad guy because he was trying to save a life, and he was okay with that. He was okay with taking the blame there, and it's like that's I don't know, that's a little forced.
I feel like she should have known. I mean,
Yeah.
as Catwoman, she knew Batman was always going to be Batman.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's, again, when it comes to a relationship, it's give and take always. And it's
Yeah.
always like, both sides do have to bend.
True.
I feel like Batman has bent in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, there are certain things about Batman that, like he said, if I can help someone, if I could save someone, I've got to try. No matter
Right.
what, I've got to try. And I don't feel like that's something that he needed to bend on, at
Right.
least that part. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess on Selina's end, she feels, well, then you could die at any moment, and you don't give a crap about me and you just care, about being the good guy. And I don't know.
I guess I get that. I don't think that was brought forth strong enough for me.
No,
but I
of
do
course.
get that. Yeah.
It all happened in one movie. The relationship and the breakup happened in one movie, whereas in the comics, it was a long. I mean, Batman and Catwoman have been playing bat and mouse for years.
Yeah.
Or bat and cat for years. So, I don't know. I feel like the ending kind of is what ruined the movie a little for me, or lowered the rating for the movie for me. I would say I would give this an average 3 out of 5, especially following Batman TMNT, which I know you didn't watch, Brent, so I won't spoil it. But if you did read the comic, the first volume.
Yeah, I read the first one.
Oh, man. It was so good. It was a good. Following that Batman movie up with this one, Batman TMNT definitely beat it out. And if any other time, for Kristin Brancheau, if it was in the middle of this and the other Batman, I would totally say don't even watch Hush and go for the TMNT Batman.
Yeah, I'd give it a little higher. I'd give it 3.5 because I did enjoy it. The twist. I wasn't that thrilled with it being Riddler, and I think they could have done a stronger story than that. But at the same time, I still enjoyed it. I enjoyed the way that it was paced. I liked some of the changes that they made. The thing I actually like the relationship between Batman and Catwoman better here than in the comic.
Definitely.
Yeah. In the original Hush story, they broke up because Batman didn't feel like he could trust her because he felt like she could have been part of this whole thing. And so it was a little more like,
you don't trust me.
Yeah. And there wasn't as much weight to it as there was here. So I thought they did this better here. So, I mean, aside from the Riddler thing, I think the changes they made made sense.
Of course, especially where they're going in the animated universe.
Right. But it wasn't. No, I was just gonna say it wasn't the best DC animated movie I've seen. Red Hood is still up there, like in one of the tops for me. I absolutely love it.
I'm trying to look at my Batman. I would say Red Hood 2 for me. I really loved Red Hood. It was very good.
And I forget which one that you and I did a show on. Was it Batman and Son or was it Batman?
We did a Batman and Son or Batman versus Robin. I know it was
Yeah.
one. Maybe we did it on both.
We did on
both.
But one of them we really liked. I can't remember which one it was. But
I think it was Batman versus Robin.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I think it was versus.
I think you're right.
Movie, I think I remember us saying that it was the first time hearing Damien's voice, and it was whiny, and I could swear it was the verses.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we both really liked that one. So, but yeah, there's definitely been worse ones than this. So I thought this was a pretty good one.
I feel like we're going to get another Batman movie.
Of course.
Probably right after Wonder Woman, if not another Justice League movie. So there are going to be plenty more. And I don't know why DC feels like they need to focus so much on Batman. I am happy that they did the Death of Superman.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah. While you're handle that. I agree with you. Batman sells. It's their number one selling character. I mean, it makes sense to keep doing it, but I too wish they would do something different. At the same time, Lisa and I were talking about this last night too. I wish, like, if they're going to do an adaptation, do it as faithful as you possibly can. But why not go outside that? Create brand new stories for this animated universe.
Great.
Yeah,
absolutely. That would be amazing. I mean, people are fighting to get Justice League back on, for the DC streaming service.
Yeah.
Young Justice, they're bringing another season. I know they're doing it because these are all popular. Death to Superman, Hush, Justice League Dark, Wonder Woman, the Bloodlines is coming out. All of these are popular. Batman TMNT, which is a recent one, which surprised me they did such a recent one. New 52, Flashpoint. These are huge events that happen in DC, but I feel like they're hiding behind that. These were popular stories. All-Star Superman. There's so many that and they're doing animated movies, and they have to change it up. I feel, because if they don't change it up, everyone's going to call it. Everyone's going to know what happens, and they did that with the Death of Superman too. But again, I feel like I wouldn't mind seeing something new and something that isn't just Batman, because all we're getting Batman, Wonder Woman, Justice League, Batman, Superman, Batman, Justice League, Batman, something random, Batman.
Yeah, I mean, give us the Teen Titans. Give us a.
We did get Judas contract.
Yeah, we got
Batman.
Give us a Birds of Prey. Give us I mean, I know it's still Batman universe, but I mean, give us, I don't know, anything. Anything other.
Take Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
Animated movie for one of the Doom Patrol comics. A Young Justice one, but not that Young Justice, like Young Justice from the comics.
Yeah. Do a Flash family one with Kid Flash and all that stuff. I don't know. Just, I mean, there's so many different characters that you could pull from.
Do Christ on Infinite Earths. Make it a double-sized movie or something. Or
I was thinking the same thing. I just didn't say it. But a Crisis movie and updated with
Blackest Night.
Oh,
Blackest Night.
Yes.
2-part movie.
If you're going to do an adaptation, do Blackest Night. But I mean, just do something original too. I mean, I would love to see something original with some of these characters.
Definitely. So overall, I'd say it fell into average ground for me. I was hoping for it to be better. It definitely lowered after Brant just told me about Hush's real identity. But
no,
Dark Knight's metal, no, never, no.
I would take this though.
I would take Super Sons. I would take Super. They're gonna bring John Kent into the Supergirl during Crisis anyway, so we might start seeing little hint. I'll take a Legion of Superhero animated movie.
Yes. Speaking of DC, hey, we could just kind of transition from there.
We're gonna transition into there. Hold on, as I transition, so all of our viewers who are watching live and all of our viewers who are watching in general who are fast forwarding will see we are now done with Batman Hush. We're back to the show. DC Comics. What a great transition. So this past week on Frontline, we did a topic time talking about DC Comics, but we obviously kept it short. We like to keep topic time about 10 minutes. And there's just so much to talk about that, you kind of have to condense what you want to say. So I got to thinking after the topic time, and Brant did as well, and this is why we wanted to kind of add it in. Not really talking about what we were talking about on the show, just kind of like taking a generalized of everything DC and kind of throwing our opinion for this. I started the last topic, so I'll let Brant start us off. So what we're talking about is, I guess, the state of DC Comics and how we feel like they can definitely get better. Not saying they're horrid. I love DC Comics, but, get out of the rut that they're in. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of recapping a few things. We talked about the delays on our topic time over there. We talked about the delays with like Superman and Supergirl and stuff like that. And now DC solicitations came out today for what month is it? For
November.
And there's no Supergirl or Superman or Action Comics. And it's like, okay, what is going on here? What are they doing exactly with these books? And again, we talked about this on the top of that. I don't want to rehash too much,
Right.
but the fact that you have this
this is new delays technically.
Yeah, but I'm saying the fact that you have this huge storyline like Doomsday Clock hanging out there, and everything had to kind of go on without it, and kind of shift plans and do this different thing, and kind of just beat around the bush until we get to that conclusion to whatever that is. Or you just disregard that altogether and have it be its own thing, and the universe has moved past it. Either way, it makes it just not as impactful as it should have been. And in the meantime, you're getting stories like this Year of the Villain and different things like that just now with some people, they're loving it, enjoying it. We got a lot of comments on that topic time, and we got a lot of people
both sides.
Yeah, from both sides. Us personally, we're not enjoying it as much, and it feels kind of stagnant, and it feels like they're just kind of playing the waiting game and seeing what happens with different things before they can move forward with different storylines. So they're throwing different things at us to kind of distract us from all that. Mm-hmm. And it just hasn't grabbed our attention as much. It feels like what do you call it? Where you're standing in place waiting for something to
stalling. It's basically stalling.
Yeah, it's a stalling tactic kind of, and that's what it feels like, at least to us.
I definitely agree. Yeah.
So go ahead. Sorry.
The thing that really has been bothering me the most, and I've been the most vocal about this, was Brian Michael Bendis is writing 12 books. Jeff Johns is writing 2 books plus running the company in the background. Now you can sit there and say it's Gary Frank's fault, the artist, for Doomsday Clock.
Yeah.
Whose fault is it for Shazam? Surely it's not the artist's fault again, was it?
They never said what the problem was with Shazam.
Right. They never said what the problem was for Shazam. So I don't know where blame falls when it comes to Johns. But when it comes to Bendis, and you can already start to see it. You're already starting to see it with Brian Michael Bendis, and he's not even been there half a year. Superman, I've never had Superman so low on my read pile since New 52. Not as low as New 52, but it's down there. I don't really have an interest in either of his things, and one of the books is connected to Leviathan. Right? Yeah.
See, and not to interrupt you at all, but that's the thing. I was one of the two of us on Frontline that has really been enjoying what Bendis was doing with the Superman books, and slowly but surely, like you're pointing out, I started losing interest to the point where I haven't read it in the past 2 or 3 issues because it started boring. I know, that's what I'm saying. It started boring me to tears to get through it, because it's the same thing that happens. And no disrespect to Bendis or Bendis fans out there, I like Bendis's writing.
Me too.
The fact is,
Ultimate Spider-Man was what introduced me to Bendis, and I loved him. And New Avengers, I loved.
Right? Yeah, me too. But the fact is, when Bendis is doing so many books, inevitably he'll put all his energy and all his focus into 1 or maybe 2, and the rest of them start to falter a little bit. And I feel like that's what's happening with the Superman stuff here, which that should be like where the main focus is.
One thing I want to commend Bendis on, and this is something I've preached forever. I always say, instead of changing a character's background or changing a character's whatever, create new. And one thing he did amazing was Naomi. He created Naomi, and then he introduced her to Young Justice. Well, first she's going to be in Superman. Then she's going to be in Young Justice. And this is one. Now, my problem isn't that I'm happy he created somebody new instead of going off and revamping another character that we've known and loved and changing it up to the point where we want to strangle him, Iceman. So he created somebody new. My problem is, I'm glad he created a new character. She has her own book. She wants to join Young Justice, great. But every book he writes, he has to make sure all of his characters somehow end up in that book as a guest or whatever. And I feel like that's oversaturation of a new character. Yeah. We saw that with Riri. We're seeing that with Naomi. And the good news is the Red Cloud, though, that he created in Action, she stayed in Action, which I'm happy about so far. I'm glad you said that. But now this is what bothers me with Bendis. He's got Superman in a chokehold. Superman, Action, Legion of Superheroes, which is connected to Superman. While he isn't writing Lois or Supergirl, they have to depend on what he's writing in order to do their story. So technically, he is telling the writer what they can and can't do. So he has control over those 2 books. Thank God Jimmy Olsen is so out there that it doesn't matter what Jimmy Olsen does, because he's doing his own thing and it doesn't collide with what Bendis is doing. But he's just got way too much of a chokehold, and he shouldn't be writing Legion of Superheroes. I'm sorry. He's even writing Young Justice with Superboy. Anything with the Superman logo on it, as other than Supergirl, Jimmy, and Lois, which I'm sure they approached him first, is being written by Bendis, and then everything else except for Jimmy, like I said, is being controlled by Bendis.
See, though, I mean, okay, this is where you and I differ, and I know you feel very strongly about this, and a lot of people on Frontline do as well, where one writer shouldn't take over all the books in one part of the universe or whatever.
Because it's one voice. It doesn't. There's not a diverse kind of.
And yeah, no, and I understand that, and I agree to a point. But at the same time, when Jeff Johns had the Green Lantern corner of the DCU, he had control over all of that, and it was all great. You know what I mean? And it's like, in Marvel, they tend to do that. Whoever's got one X book has both. Whoever has one Avengers book has both. And it's been that way for like the past decade, maybe longer, 2 decades. And I think when it's done well, it's done well.
You don't care.
You know what I mean? Yeah, we don't notice it. That's the difference. I think the fact that so many people are speaking up about this kind of points to the fact that it's not working as well this time.
I mean, if you look at his repertoire so far, Bendis has written I feel like DC is the kid in the candy shop and Bendis is the candy shop. DC wants Bendis to write everything, every candy. So he's already written every single Superman book. He's already written a Batman story for their Walmart.
The 80-page thing, yeah.
He's doing Legion. He's doing Young Justice. He's doing his own. They wanted him to do his creator-owned stuff, so they got access and are publishing his creator-owned stuff. He created a new character for them that is, I guess, somewhere in between the Superman part of the DCU and the young teen verse, so to speak. I just feel like DC's they're like, oh, you're Brian Michael Bendis. We want you to write every character. So they're trying to throw too much at him too fast. And there's another character I know he wrote. I feel like he's doing Leviathan, which has Batman in it once again, and it has Plastic Man, and there are several characters in it. So I don't know. I feel like they're like, write everything. We want to see you write.
And I mean, I understand that, right? Because Bendis has been locked up in Marvel for all these years, and they haven't been able to put him on a DC book. And I get that excitement both from Bendis and from DC. And if I was in his shoes, I'd be the same way. I'd be like, let me take on everything, you know? But I think it would have been better if it was paced out more. So like, so, 2 years from now, let's branch him out and do something else, as opposed to let's do everything right now and have it all come out at the same time.
You just said the magic word, and that's what has me worried the most. Bendis doesn't leave a book until the company sends him off the book. I wonder if with DC Comics, they're not going to hold on to Bendis on Young Justice and Superman for as long as they can. So that could be anywhere from 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, and I hope that's not the case, because Bendis, again, no disrespect to the man. No. He is super talented, but he always does overstay his welcome on a book to the point where you're like, can we get somebody new on this book, because it's boring.
Amazing Spider-Man. And he was a writer for Ultimate Spider-Man, and we wanted him off Amazing Spider-Man because he was on for too long.
Yeah, we wanted him off Miles. We wanted him off. I mean, once he got off Ironheart and Miles and stuff, they got a little bit better. And
Ironheart, I know, took off. Miles is in the middle ground, but getting there.
I agree.
Getting there.
But I mean, look at the Avengers books. He stayed on those way too long. He stayed on the X-Men books way too long, and so on and so forth. And I think because we stuck with those books for so long, that now that he's on something DC, it's like we can already start to feel it, even at the beginning.
As people who read both DC and Marvel, we know new DC people who only read DC don't know his pattern yet. So for them, it's like, oh, he's great. Come on. I mean, if you would have told me that when I started reading New Avengers, about Bendis, I never would have believed you. I would have said, no, he's an amazing writer. How dare you even say he's doing...
Oh, of course.
Because there were a lot of people that hated his new Avengers run. I loved it. When I was reading it, I couldn't get enough of it. Yeah. I was up to issue 100. I think they got up to 100 and something before they finally ended it. Yeah. And that was all Bendis.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want 100 and something Superman books from Bendis. I don't think I could take it.
Yeah, I mean, again, because we've read Bendis so long, we know his style too now, and we've talked about this a lot, that he's like a very decompressed writer. He stretches things out so far, and you're already seeing that again with Superman. All these storylines are stretching out so far, and it's like, oh my goodness, I don't want to sit here and read this arc for the next 2 years. I want it to end. Do something different. So yeah, I don't know. I had hopes for it. And again, at the beginning, I was really enjoying it. I thought his take was fresh. It felt like Superman to me. I know we differ on that, but it felt good to me, and I was enjoying it. And now, how many issues is he into both of these now?
He's in 2 years at least.
Yeah, so I'm already feeling it though.
1013. No, I'm sorry, it's been a year. 1013, I think we had.
Yeah.
And that would mean the other one is 13 as well. So yeah, we've had him about 13 issues.
Yeah, unless they were coming out every other weekend.
Nope. Once Bendis took over, Superman became a once a month, and same thing with Avenger.
Okay, so yeah, just a little bit over a year then. So I'm already feeling that fatigue, and I'm already getting bored, like 2/3 of the way through his run.
Superman hasn't been in my top 5. I think he did one book that I really liked, and it was my number 5, I think.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Superman is nowhere even close to my top 5 of any Superman book. Young Justice, he has a voice with the teenage characters. I will say that Bendis does write teens really well. So I feel his Young Justice is good. I don't like the redesign for Legion, so I don't know how I'm going to take Legion of superheroes.
I have to see them in the book, actually, like the artist that's on the book. Those, yeah. All I've seen is those sketches, and it could look very different depending on who's drawing it.
Definitely. Yeah. So I'll read the first issue the mini, but that was delayed too. The mini. Yeah. So between the delays, one writer writing, I mean, Justice League is now ensnared with Snyder Tynion until the year of the villain's over. And guess what? It is what it says. A whole year's worth of story. Year of the Villain is a 24-issue Justice League, because Justice League is twice a month. So it is a 24-issue Justice League run that crosses over to almost every single DC book, so that even if you're not reading Justice League, if you're reading something DC, Superman, action right now. Any DC comic book is in this Year of the Villain, whether you want to be in the event or not. Right. You're still going to experience a piece of the event. The only good news is, if you're reading Wonder Woman, that event is specific for Wonder Woman. If you're reading Superman, it's specific to Superman. So you don't have to read the actual event itself.
I don't feel like it's an actual. I mean, I guess it is kind of, but I feel it's more like when Avengers had Dark Reign, it wasn't really an event. It was just kind of this brand, this theme that was going throughout the books, but it wasn't. You didn't have to read everything, and I feel like that's kind of what this is. But at the same time, with going back to Justice League, Scott Snyder's another one that just stays on and on and on. And Tynion is writes exactly like Scott Snyder.
Scott Snyder was on Batman from New 52 all the way to Rebirth.
Yeah.
All the way to Rebirth. That's 5 years.
Mm-hmm. I gotta say, with Justice League, man, that I keep going, trying it, and I'll read it for a couple of issues and I drop off. And I keep doing that. And this last issue, oh my goodness. Did you read the Jarro?
Snyder is DC Comics version of Hickman.
Yeah.
Except he doesn't do charts. He does dialogue.
Oh my goodness. I felt like I was reading Tolkien. I mean, it was like the most detailed novelistic kind of comic book I've ever read in my life. I mean, I don't mind a lot of dialogue if it keeps moving and it's popping and it serves the story, but when you're just throwing information at me left and right, forget it. I'm done. That's not the format for that kind of storytelling.
No, Justice League hasn't been good since the first issue. I don't like dialogue dumps. I'm sorry. While I did like a few books, every time I see Justice League, I cringe because whether it be Tynion or Schneider, both of them are just dialogue dumps. And whenever I see Hickman, the first thing I think of, oh, here we go. Every 4 pages, we're gonna have a chart, and believe me, you need it in the new X-Men thing going on.
I'll say that the charts are starting to lessen a little bit,
which is good.
And they're starting to tie in a little bit more. Like the timeline thing in the Moira issue was pretty good. I like that.
I just can't see myself going to you one day, Brant, the next Celestial Falcon issue, we're gonna have 3 charts over the next 5 issues, charting everything out.
Well, I mean, what I found out, by the way, is Jonathan Hickman is a graphic designer too. So I think maybe he's doing these charts himself.
Oh, because he's a graphic designer. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, so he's just having fun doing. And I get that from a designer's point of view, but at the same time, I would rather all that stuff just be shoved at the back of the book. And if I want to take the time to sit there and read through it, as opposed to taking me completely out of the story in between. But I've said that multiple times now.
See, you said exactly what I would do. If I needed a chart, like if we were doing Celestial Falcon and we were doing like universe hopping or whatever, and we wanted to have like a chart for the universe, end of the book.
Yeah.
So that if nobody gives a crap about it, they can just, okay, I'm done. It's a chart. I don't care about it. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Because, I mean, not everybody likes that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, know your audience. That's all.
But I feel like DC, to help, and again, I love DC. And Mike Spider-Slayer said it best. I say it this way all the time. It's like a wave at the beach. The wave comes in, DC's on top, Marvel's on the bottom. The wave goes out, Marvel's on top, DC's on the bottom. Very rarely does the wave stop somewhere in between, and Marvel and DC are level. Why do I say that? Because Marvel will be doing something that, all new, all different Marvel, where it literally loses 90% of the or 70% of their audience. Mm-hmm. And then DC will do something like Rebirth, and they'll gain the audience. They'll gain their audience back. And then Marvel will be doing something like Absolute Carnage. We'll get into that. And now DC's doing this Year of the Villain. And again, it flip-flops. And then you got Bendis on 13 books. You've got delays on several books. Yeah. You've got so much going on with DC that right now the wave is out. It's going to come back in. DC's not going to, like a lot of people automatically like, ring the bell, put the red lights up. DC's going to go bankrupt.
Oh,
Disney is going to buy DC Comics.
That's the dumbest thing in the world. It always goes back and forth, and just for us. And the funny thing is, there's plenty of people out there that feel the exact opposite. They feel like Marvel is trash right now and DC is gold, and that's fine. I mean, it's all subjective, and I don't want to come off as like we're just bashing DC. We both read both companies. We both enjoy both companies. I love Superman and I love Spider-Man. It's just that's the way that we are. That's the kind of readers that we are, and I think that's the majority of readers, honestly.
I love DC. I love Marvel. I love Independence. I got into Independence because of the comic reviews I did.
Yeah, I think for us right now, DC is just kind of stagnant, and some of the storylines are boring. Some things I'm really enjoying. I know you don't read it, but I love Dial H. I read
Dial H.
Oh, you do read Dial H. Okay,
that's my top 5.
I'm sorry. I thought that was
one. You read my top 5.
I'm sorry. I was thinking of Wonder Twins. Wonder Twins, the ones you didn't read.
Right. Wonder Twins, I could care less about.
Yeah, Dial H has been fantastic. I love Teen Titans. I think this the best Teen Titans has been in decades. I picked
the wrong Titan team. Michael and I chose. I was going to do Titans. He was doing Teen Titans. I should have chose Teen Titans and let him do Titans.
Yeah, because Titans went.
I don't want to talk about what happened to Titans.
Yeah, but Teen Titans have been fantastic. Best in years. I'm telling you. So it's not all bad. I like Naomi. I've enjoyed Young Justice. It's not all bad. It's just some of these bigger books, these known books that we always love to read and have been talking about. Like Aquaman, I was on board for like 2 years, and now I can't even pick it up. Flash, the art just puts me off completely, and the storyline is just not that interesting either. So I dropped Flash, and I'm like, Wonder Woman. It's all these big titles are just so boring to me right now.
Batman.
Yeah, Batman, and it's like when Tom King's
Batman is picking up. Detective went down.
Yeah, but for a while there, Batman was just unreadable to me. And when Tom King took over, it was like, oh my goodness, this stuff is awesome. And then for the past 25 issues, it's been like, can we just get to the end? You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Detective I fell off of. I haven't tried it again yet, so we'll see.
I haven't read. I think this week was Detective, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's starting a new storyline. So we'll see if I like it this time around.
I might look at it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't read it in I don't know, several issues.
Yeah, because of the strange. Wow. I forgot who was in it now. What was the name of that?
I don't remember.
Phantom Stranger?
Oh, was it Phantom Stranger or was it
Yeah, see, you'll forget.
Spectre.
Spectre.
The Spectre. That's what it was. The Spirit of Vengeance.
Boring.
Yeah.
I honestly, now that I stopped doing the comic reviews, I view comic books as one medium. So I don't look at it. This is a DC book. This is a Marvel book. This is an Image book. This is an IDW book. This is my reading pile. These are the titles I like, whether they be Marvel, DC, IDW, Image, Argo Comics, whatever. If I like it, I'm reading it. If I don't like it, I'm not reading it. And every new arc, I give it a look into. And if it's the same as before that I don't like, I don't pick it up. If it gets better, I pick it up.
Hey, Comic
Core.
Awesome.
Hello,
Thanks for checking it out.
Welcome in. And if it's something I was liking that somehow started to sink, I stopped reading it for an arc.
Yeah.
If a detective, that's what I'll continue to do moving forward. I talked about comic burnout. I had a whole video on it, and thank you everyone who watched it. So many views and so many comments. And Brent,
I watched it. Yeah.
I answered your comment.
I know. I saw.
So, I guess for people like us that read them on a weekly basis and have to have them read as fast as possible, all that burns you out. And yeah, then you start to get real fatigue. And I feel like I was angrier, or not angrier, more judgmental, would you say? I'm not sure how I would put it, but like I feel like I was harsher in my judgment when it came to a lot of books. Now that I kind of relax a bit and sit back and kind of take in the books, I enjoy them a lot more because I have more time.
I'm answering a comment. Sorry. Comic Core said they loved the Hush movie, so I was answering that.
We found it middle ground. Definitely go back. You can check out our whole talk on it. Yeah. I have to read Hush the comic. I know Brent loved Hush the comic.
Yeah, I love the comic, and I thought I liked the movie a little bit better than Chris did.
I gave it 3 stars out of 5. Brent gave it
3.5. Yeah. It just the twist is who Hush ended up being in the movie was what kind of put it down for both of us a little bit. Yeah. But
especially because the Hush character was in the story. I thought it was the whole Jason Todd thing that they shied away from.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they could always do a twist and do a Hush too, but I doubt they'll do that. So,
probably not. But it is what it is. It was fine though.
I feel like DC will pick up. I just feel like they need to diversify their writers a bit more, give more newer writers a chance. One writer should not be writing everything when there's so many different books. And
that is an interesting thing about it too. And going away from the fact that you have one writer writing all the Superman books or whatever, that we've talked about that, but it does lock up all kinds of titles, and it doesn't open it up for new people to come up. And that's
one thing Marvel.
That's the problem with Marvel and DC.
Yeah, I feel like
Marvel's doing better. Go ahead.
Okay, I think you're hiccuping a little bit.
Okay.
I think you're hiccuping a little bit. So I'm sorry if I'm interrupting you. I noticed your videos going side to side.
Okay.
So
it looks fine on my end, but okay.
Little bit, yeah. Wave like this. Now you're okay. Say something.
Something.
Yeah, see your mouth moved, but the audio comes out delayed.
Okay.
Yes, that's weird. That's so weird. Stop talking like that. It's like a ventriloquist. You're talking, and then it's got to come down the pipe before I hear it.
I guess there's a delay in my connection or
Nope,
something.
now it's back.
Okay,
Now
good,
it's back.
good.
Oh, thank God. That was so creepy. But I don't know. I just feel like I know DC will get to the bottom of it. DC is a little bit less lenient about losing sales than Marvel, and I feel like that's why Bendis stayed on books with Marvel a bit longer. I don't think DC will make that same mistake if they see the sales start to wane.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. They're not, are they? Because it's Bendis.
Yeah, I get. Well, he could have a lock for a certain amount of issues, so he might have it on lock for now, and then later maybe they'll, when the contract's up, instead of renewing, they'll say, "Why don't you do this?"
Yeah, it's always interesting to me. As much as we dislike something, though, there's so many people out there that like it, and it's sure they're
good. It's good that there's a diverse reader base, so that when people like us drop off a book, people like them jump on it, so it keeps the book in circulation in a different crowd. And then when their favorite team leaves and another team comes on, maybe that new team is a team that we'll like, and they'll like, and then you get the best of both worlds. Yeah,
but I'm starting to come around to your side. The more I think about this, it's like, okay, if Bendis, just because we're talking about Bendis, we'll use him as an example, but it could be anybody. If Bendis is going to be on this book for the next 3 years, we'll say, why not have another book written by another creative team for all those people that don't like what Bendis is doing?
Right, because it's like literally holding Superman hostage until Bendis and or DC feel like they're done telling their story.
Yeah. So I'm somebody that enjoys when a run is good. I enjoy
Batman, Superman.
Yeah,
is not Bendis.
Yeah, I enjoy seeing a consistent creative team on a book for a long period of time if it's really good. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So like Bendis on Ultimate Spider-Man, the original run, that was really good. Like Kurtman on Invincible, things like that. When it's the same creative team on a long run, as long as the consistency is there, as long as the level of quality remains and I'm enjoying it and I'm invested, then I'm good with it. But when it starts to falter, that's when I'm like, okay, can we get somebody new?
Jeff Johns made me love Green Lantern, and I never even cared to read Green Lantern until the Jeff Johns run. Right.
I did read some of Kyle Rayner, but aside from that, I was never a Hal Jordan fan. So, when he took it over, though, man, I got so invested in Green Lantern. I mean, more than I'd ever done. It's the same thing when Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning took over the cosmic side and they did the whole Annihilation and Annihilation Conquest and all that stuff. It made me fall in love with that side of Marvel. So,
I forgot who wrote Guardians that got me into Guardians. It was when the first movie came out, I think, right before the first movie came out.
I don't remember who was writing that. I know that
the Black Vortex.
Yeah, I don't remember. That's sad.
Be funny if it was Bendis, wouldn't it?
It would be funny. I think he was definitely around that time.
He was. I know he wrote Guardians for a time.
Yeah. It might have been him during that.
Might have been. I don't know. Yeah. All I know is he doesn't have the flavor in my eyes for Superman. And that's just Superman. I'm not here to say, let's talk DC and let me just trash on Bendis for Superman. If it breaks you, Tevya, it's gonna break you then. But I'm here to say, in general, I think DC's just in a funk. I think it'll pull back. I think it'll hold itself back up because it's DC Comics. I mean, they made a mistake with New 52. They saw the fan base literally walk away not 2 years into it, and then they fixed themselves. They see that the same thing is happening again. They're obviously going to fix themselves, just like Marvel would fix them. Well, Marvel will never learn from their creed with those variant covers. I will say that, or their $10 issue 25s, hundreds, and whatever. But I guess they kind of did. Some of the books went down to $8, so I guess that's a plus.
Yeah, but I mean, they're still, they give you content for that price.
They give you content, but is it content worth that $8 to $10?
Most of the time, no. Sometimes it's on occasion.
This is another beautiful transition, which I actually am going to change the background for this occasion. It's a perfect transition to Absolute Carnage.
And I just realized we didn't flash up any of those stills when we were talking about Hush.
Okay, real quick, rewind. So Batman Hush, right? So here's a still, and here's a still, and there's a still, and there's a still. There's another one. Oh, look, Penguin got kicked in the face. There's another one, and finally there's Hush.
Yeah.
Look at that. We did it all. All in one.
Nicely done. Nicely
There
done.
we go. And just Batman Hush. So, going back now to Absolute Carnage. Oh, that says Scream. Well, Absolute Carnage. Brant and I both talked about it last week. I think it was your number one. It probably would have been my number one. Donnie Coates. Cates. Why do I want to keep saying Coates? Kate and Ryan Stegman. I loved that issue. I was pleasantly surprised. I think both of us went into it going, coming out of Minimum Carnage, Carnage USA, a Carnage ongoing series times 2. We were like, oh, no more Carnage. Please. Yeah. Kill us, please.
Yeah.
And whoa. Donnie Cates, whoa. Surprised the hell out of me.
Yeah. I got to admit, it surprised me too, because it's like I had not really been enjoying the Venom series. I actually dropped off of it. I just wasn't feeling it. And Donnie Cates is a writer that's I like about half his stuff, and the other half I'm just like, not that it's bad, it's just not my thing. But yeah, when Absolute Carnage came out, that first issue, I was blown away by it. I mean, it was literally the best book I read that week, and yeah, it was just so good. It was something different, but still felt familiar. It felt nostalgic, but new at the same. It was just, I don't know. It was such a good book.
I loved it. He got the hits, the horror aspect, which is what this is. This is a horror. This is the first time I feel like something dark horror has hit Marvel, like in the main universe.
Yeah,
and he puts the comedy in between Venom and Pete, or Brock and Pete, Venom and Spider-Man, so perfectly. I mean, you don't expect to see comedy on that level in a horror book, because you figure that the aspects that are going to be spotlighted are the horror parts, and the back and forth between Brock and Spidey, perfect. You could jump into this mostly without knowing much. You kind of will be lost about Venom's son without reading Stegman's Venom. You'll be a little lost, but he kind of explains it to Spider-Man, and as a reader, I feel like you could pick up on it easy. Yeah,
I think the same thing, but at the same time, I knew what was going on in it just because we talk about it every time Venom comes out, because it's one of Mike's favorite books. So it's, at first I was like, oh no, it's definitely new reader friendly or whatever, and then the more I thought about it, I was like, well, that's only because I know everything that's been going on. So maybe
thanks to Mike Spider Slayer.
So it's kind of hard to say with that perspective, but I do agree with you. I think they gave us enough to catch us up if you weren't reading all that stuff. I didn't feel completely lost, even though I did.
Cull, you might have been lost with Cull if you didn't read the first arc.
Null, you mean?
Null,
the god.
Cull.
Yeah,
I thought it was Cull.
No, it's K-N. I assume that the K is silent. I call it Null, but
okay.
Donnie Cates, correct us if you happen to watch this.
if you're watching this, Donnie Cates,
thank you.
Thank you. Want to come on and talk?
Yeah, sure. Come on.
We'll talk
after
an
invite. Why not?
But it would have been my number one book probably that week. I hadn't read any books yet at that point. I had only read Absolute Carnage and was blown away. I was not buying a thing into this event. I wasn't going to buy the event. I was going to read it all digitally. I meant buy as in physical. I wasn't going to get a physical issue of this event. I wasn't going to bother. I was just going to let it go, because, I mean, let's be fair. You open up the Marvel previews book for this month, next month, and even the month after, and like the first 12 pages are Absolute Carnage and every single mother, brother, uncle comic to it.
Yeah. And honestly, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No. I was just going to say, and I'm not going to buy every single one of them. That's for sure.
Yeah. I honestly wasn't sure I was even going to buy it at all. Like, I wasn't even sure I was going to read it. I had been kind of turned off by the Venom stuff. I hadn't been enjoying the Carnage stuff. So I was like, do I really need this? I mean, we got Powers of X and all that stuff going on. Powers of 10, sorry. All that X-Men stuff going on, and you got all this other stuff going on. And it's like, do I really need to invest myself in this storyline?
That was my argument, was the X-Men event was going on at the same time.
Yeah. So I thought I would give it a shot, that first issue. And I'm glad I did, because, yeah, I'm hooked now. I'm intrigued. I had fun with it. And as long as that book was, it was such a fast read.
Yeah, I felt like I digested it like super quick. Like literally, boom, boom, boom. I was like, whoa, I'm done? No, more.
And it's not that the dialogue was light or anything. It wasn't. It was, you got a lot of backstory there. Mm-hmm. You got filled in on everything. But it just, I don't know, it was just so seamless. The banter between them and even the descriptive stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
everything.
It was dark. I mean, the maggots that Carnage had that he was throwing at people to turn them into symbiotes.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, it was definitely horror. I mean, and I'm not the hugest horror fan. That was another reason I wasn't sure I was going to like it. That's just not the kind of stories that I generally am pulled towards. It's one of the reasons why I don't read Immortal Hulk, which I know people rave about it, but I hate it. But yeah, so it's
okay, Immortal Hulk. I got used to it, but it's like it's still not my Hulk.
Yeah, exactly. It's just not my kind of story. So I was really nervous about this one. But like you said, where they throw in the humor and they throw in the classic stuff, and artistically, you see some very familiar looks for Venom and Carnage here and there. Even though all the symbiotes look completely different now, you still got little taste of the past and stuff. And it just brought me back to Maximum Carnage and all that kind of stuff. And,
and that's the important thing. And I think that's a perfect lead in what you're saying to the first book. This is week 2. This past Wednesday, we got 2 tie-in books. That one is a mini, and that's Absolute Carnage Scream. This is issue 1 of 3. The next one is a one-shot, and we'll talk about that. Now, like you said, Brant, I'm not buying into all of these tie-ins. I'm not going to go into Cosmic Ghost Rider, or we're getting Amazing Spider-Man, as you know. I'm not going into anything that's not a 3-part mini. Let me put it that way. I'm not going into any of the series that are being affected by Absolute Carnage physically. But my God, if Absolute Carnage didn't hook me from that first issue, week 2 was absolutely amazing. I decided, okay, I'm not going to wait till the weekend to read the 2 tie-in books to Absolute Carnage. And that's why I actually asked Brant to read these 2 before the show, because I want to hear his side of both of these books. So I read Scream, and then I read Separation Anxiety, but we're going to talk about Scream first, because that's a 3-part mini. Separation Anxiety is a one-shot, so we can give our full thoughts. Scream, out of the 2, was my 2 of 2. It was below Separation Anxiety. It brought Scream back. You mentioned classic, Brant. They brought Scream back from the dead because of Null and his ability to bring anyone who had a past who wore a symbiote back to life and control them. Yeah. And they brought Scream back. And as a matter of fact, they took one of Scream's hosts, who was still alive, and rebonded her with the Scream symbiote. But she's still under Carnage's control because he has Null's control. I don't know how that happened, though. I didn't read into it. I didn't read Venom. So now she is being controlled by Carnage, and she starts to do what Carnage is doing, infest other people with symbiotes. So slowly, this is, like you said, Maximum Carnage, but it's becoming Planet of the Symbiotes again.
Yeah, totally. With this one, I mean, it was great seeing Scream back. I think visually that's my favorite of the 4. But, like, I don't know quite how to say it.
Say it the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little lost reading this one. I got the gist of it, right? I got everything you just said. I got the basic gist of it. But at the same time, it was like, if I could barely remember, like, it's been so many years since I've read anything with these in it, that I was trying hard to remember, like, who these characters were. And I think they did okay explaining who they were.
I had no clue who any of them were, to be honest.
Yeah, but like all the different voices in her head and stuff, I thought that was handled well. It was interesting. It was fun. But at the same time, I still wasn't sure which character was which. Like the girl, at the end. Was that the girl that we saw at the beginning?
I think it was.
I think it was too, but I'm not exactly sure. So I was a little bit lost with this one. Not that it was a bad read at all. It still got me excited about the event. Scream, like I said, is visually really cool. It's interesting.
Really good. Yeah.
Yeah. The art was really good in this one. I think I like the art better in this book than I did Separation Anxiety. But the story was just a little bit weaker. That's all.
All right, so let's go into Separation Anxiety. This was my book of the week. Out of the two. I haven't read anything else yet, but I can almost 100% guarantee everyone here, this is going to be in my top 5 for Frontline Live this coming week, if not definitely in the top 3. I loved the horror story. The dog that had all the other symbiotes except Scream was taken in by this family, who now the dog is controlled by Carnage. So now the dog, like Scream, is looking to infest other people with symbiotes. But it has the 4 main symbiotes. 3.
3, yeah.
Lasher, Chaos, and
Phage.
Yeah, and then you have also Hybrid. I don't know why, but Hybrid wasn't mentioned, though. I don't think it had that.
I thought they were hybrid. Like the 3 of them together combined are hybrid.
I think so. You could be right. I'm not sure. I don't know how. I never read the Lethal Protector arc.
Yeah, I didn't either, but they did reference hybrid in this book. So
that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. The 3 of them formed together to create hybrid.
Okay, gotcha. So the parents are the first ones that get taken. And now you got the kids who are running around the house trying to avoid the parents, trying to escape. And, you think they're going to, the brother, the younger brother gets taken, and it's just a sister, and you think she's going to make it. It's at the end of the book, and then you realize you're reading a horror story, you're reading a horror arc. Duh, she's not going to make it.
Yeah.
And thus the entire family becomes the new 4 symbiotes.
Yeah.
And they're heading now to Big Apple.
So there were actually 5 then, right?
Lasher, Chaos, Scream,
Phage, and
then Hybrid would be the hybrid of all of them.
Hold on. I gotta find this out.
You guys gotta find this out.
What would you call those? Carnage kids.
No, they're not Carnage kids. Venom, different symbiotes.
Who are the 5 symbiotes? All right, Agony, Phage, Scream, Lasher, and Riot. Where'd you get Chaos? Were you thinking of Riot?
Maybe I was thinking Riot instead of Chaos. Yeah, no.
All right, so these are all 4 except for
Screen share.
Scream.
Are there pictures?
No, it's written.
Okay, if there's no picture, then there's no point to screen share it.
I know that. That's why I'm not.
Okay, yeah. No, I was saying you didn't have to because I didn't know if you were going to. But yeah, no. Either way, I thought this was I love the story. I feel like I like the art in Scream as much as I like the art in Separation Anxiety.
Okay.
So I don't think I could. I mean, I liked, if I had to put them next to each other, I would say I'd pick Scream over. But I didn't really mind the art in Separation Anxiety. I really actually liked. I was happy with it.
I thought it fit the story. It just wasn't my favorite kind of art. Is all. Let me see.
I looked up Brian Level, and he actually does. There you go. Yep.
Yeah, that's the originals. So.
Yeah. See, Riot is the purple one, right? Or you don't know? I know Lasher's the green one.
Yeah, Scream is the one on the left, top left.
Right.
Yeah, I don't remember which is which.
I don't remember the other 3.
Yeah.
Either way, somebody in the comments will let us know. But this is my favorite book, one of my favorite books for sure. I'm excited to hear what you thought about it.
Like I said, for the kind of story that it was, I thought it was really good. It was creepy. You got the little introduction of last time we saw these. They combined together in some stray dog that hasn't been seen since, and it was set up really like a horror story, which was kind of cool. The way it was introduced and kind of slowly infected the family, and like you said at the end, pulls in the girl. So now you got this family of symbiotes, which is basically kind of like DC's nuclear family in symbiote form,
yeah.
right? So that's kind of creepy. and everything. Again, horror stories aren't really my forte, so I probably enjoyed it a little bit less than you just for that reason. But I can definitely appreciate what they were going for here, and I think they succeeded by far in doing that kind of story in this world and in this corner of the Marvel universe. And it's setting up something really gruesome later on if they maintain these hosts.
Oh yeah,
it's going to be really interesting to see that going forward into the main story.
I will say, after reading both Scream and Absolute and Separation Anxiety, I decided to buy both of them physically because I love the Separation Anxiety one shot. And I'm going to try out the other one shots physically, the first issues.
Yeah.
Not the one shot. I'm going to try out the other stuff that's like a tie-in, but not tied into a main arc, like the Deadpool one and stuff. I'll see how it goes with the first issue. If I don't like it, just drop it physically, keep it digitally. But these two have definitely surprised me. Close the door. These two surprised me a bit more, and I want to make sure that I don't lose out because I know, especially when books like this happen, and if Marvel says this is the new origin, you are not going to find this book anymore. I promise you. If this is the first appearance of the new symbiote family, you're not going to find this book anywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what happened with Turtles. The Jenica, where she became a turtle, issue 93 all the way through to 96 sold out.
Yeah.
So you gotta be on top if you want it physically. If you don't care and you're a digital reader only, if you own it digitally, it's not a problem for you.
Yeah.
So, but for me, I like having a physical medium with books I like. I feel like it helps extra support, because I support through the digital, but I'm also supporting through the physical copies as well. So
right.
I wanted to make sure my support was there for Separation Anxiety. I like Scream, the first issue, so I'll continue that. Now, the one thing that worries me the most is Marvel sees that the symbiotes are popular. Scream is popular. You know what's going to happen. Scream, the ongoing. The symbiote family, the ongoing. And Scream already it's rumored that Scream is getting an ongoing.
Yeah. I mean, I could definitely see that. It's not going to last. It'll go like 10 issues or something like that.
Oh, if even. 8.
Yeah, if even. Just to give everybody a heads up, next week we've got Absolute Carnage, Miles Morales. That's a 1 of 3. And you got Carnage versus Deadpool. That's also a 1 of 3.
I didn't see Miles Morales. Oh, it's in the Miles Morales book.
No, it's a 3-issue mini. Absolute Carnage, Miles Morales, 1 of 3.
Midtown didn't have that one. I'm going to triple check that you're for the 21st. Or you talking?
Unless they changed it, which is possible. I'm looking at an old reading order.
I think they've changed it because on Midtown right now I see Absolute Carnage versus Deadpool. All versus Deadpool. And then it goes right to Captain Marvel.
Okay. Let me double check that. Either way, I think it's still coming up. And then the week after is Lethal Protectors.
Mm-hmm. That's a one shot. That's the next one shot.
It says 1 of 3 on this.
Oh, Lethal Protectors? Okay.
Yeah. Let me double check. I'm going to look at previous world.
There are other one shots. Oh, the symbiote one. The symbiote Spider-Man one is a one shot.
Okay, let's see. Look at the 21st. Scroll down to Marvel.
Yes, Debbie, Scream is getting an ongoing. We just mentioned that.
Okay, so next week is just Carnage versus Deadpool. You're right.
Okay.
Probably
the following week they're going to triple dip and put Miles in that one.
Yeah, that's not available yet on here. So.
Okay.
Sorry about that. But anyway, we got dead air.
Dead air. It's okay. So Absolute Carnage has been absolutely amazing in my opinion. And I'm just anything that's not in a main series like the Miles Morales, I didn't even know it came out. Sit down and stop. So
oh, I found it.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, it's coming on the 28th as well, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Miles Morales and Lethal Protectors are both on the 28th now.
Okay. So then that's next week. So next week they'll have 2, and then then we go into the new month. And I think isn't Absolute 2 coming out?
Absolute, yeah, on the 28th as well.
So
yeah, so all 3 of those. Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it. My only worry, and it's not about Donny Cates, it's about Marvel. They do an event, and it's great. I mean, let's put it, Secret Empire started amazing. We loved it. I did a whole freaking skit on Frontline for it, for review the first issue. And then it just and crashed. I don't want to see this crash. I really, truly want this event. I know it's short. I think it's only 2 months or 3 months long. I think it's ending in, as a matter of fact, I think it's ending in September. No, it's October. It is ending in October, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I think so. I don't know. Marvel didn't release their November solicits yet. Brant will look it up, and I'm not going to let there be dead air this time. But it's a shorter event. It's 2 issues a month, and I think if we go to November 2, 4, 6, 8, that's 8 issues. So I would think that they would end it there. I don't think they would go 12. Then go get them. Right. It is ending in November?
No, I was saying I don't think they go that long.
I don't think they would. And there's another event coming, which is starting actually in October. I think it's the infected one. Not infected. Oh, shoot. I forgot what that was called even.
It must be running until November because Absolute Carnage number 4 comes out in October.
Okay, so that means that there's only 1 issue in September and 1 issue in October.
Yeah, and then 1 issue, the last issue in November. That's what it's looking like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still, it's fair enough. I mean, I'm liking it, and I'm hoping that by the time we get to October, we're still saying we like this because I like the horror aspect. This is the first time I've been enjoying Carnage since Carnage USA. As a matter of fact, the artist that did Carnage USA is doing the Avenger one-shot.
Oh, really? That's cool. I couldn't tell you the last time I enjoyed Carnage, to be honest. So I'm enjoying that. I mean, it's different. It's definitely a different take on Carnage. But I like that they're doing something cool, and they're taking him back to his roots of being a serial killer.
Yes.
Which is, when you take Carnage and you don't make him that vicious and gruesome, it just I don't know, it kills the character for me because it's like you can't redeem this guy. No,
there's no way you're ever redeeming Carnage.
No,
Venom redeemed. Carnage, you can kill him.
Yeah, I mean he's literally a serial killer before he was Carnage.
There's no coming back.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I'm loving it. My final thought on it is I hope it continues to be great. I definitely would say check out the first issue of Absolute. I would say check out the minis. If you don't know if you'd like it, I'm sure there are several websites that have preview art for the books up and preview for the stories up. Check it out.
If you're a horror fan, I think you're going to dig this. If you like superheroes and horrors and you like the mishmashing, I think this is a book for you. If you're a Donny Cates fan, you're obviously going to love it. And if you're a Spider-Man fan, and especially like a classic Spider-Man or like a 90s Spider-Man fan, you're going to find a lot to love here because they're dipping into that, but it doesn't feel like rehash. It feels new, feels fresh, like I said before. So, yeah, there's a lot to love for a lot of different people here.
Definitely. And with that, that's it for Absolute Carnage. So now this is the part of the show where we'll just chit-chat about everything and every little whatever we want to talk about, and then we wrap the show up. So let's get back to wrong one.
Well, you can do that one. It doesn't matter. We can do whatever we want.
We can do whatever we want. This is our show. We always do whatever we want. But this is the part where now we are done with the actual layout, and we just talk about whatever. So I'm trying to get Brant back into Fortnite. I'll throw Fortnite into this show because Fortnite,
Fortnite.
Did you watch the season ending?
No, I will. I promise. I'll go watch that later tonight.
If I knew that we wouldn't get a copyright strike, I'd make you watch it on the show. But I if you did, I would ask you what you thought about it. But
yeah,
I was pleasantly surprised that Fortnite actually tried to inject the story to their to their battle royale.
The battle royale, yeah. No, that's cool, and I want to watch it. I just keep forgetting about it. I'm actually trying to scroll through our chats to find the links now, just so I can have it up later. But yeah, no, I think that's cool because it's a game you don't really associate with the story. You're just like, oh, you're dropped on an island to kill everybody else before you get killed. That's your whole premise.
Basically, you're going to get killed way more than you kill people unless you are like the guy I watched that. I don't understand how people can play games. Like, I was watching people who do battle royales and like Overwatch and stuff like that, and they literally they're like, and they've got like with the battle royale for Fortnite, this one guy literally is like, and he builds like a half a wall, and he just literally hits a button, and it's like a flow of his finger across the buttons, like, okay, and then when he wants to delete something, he like does it. It's like a flick. I'm like, okay, listen, I played Halo, I played Call of Duty, I played many PvP games. I cannot be that fast. I never, and my youngest was that fast. And I'm watching somebody play Gears multiplayer PvP, like not the casual like arcade one, the one that's actual competitive. And he's like, I'm like, I never in my top of my game was never that good.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it. I've seen some of them build the walls and stuff like that in that too, and it's like, I could never. I keep trying to practice. I go into that the practice thing, or at least I was when I was playing it still, and I can't do it.
And it has nothing to do. And I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, y'all are old, so your hand-eye coordinate bullshit.
No,
I've seen people older. The person I'm watching is older than me, doing this like boom, 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 and there's no way you're gonna tell me that it's my hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
There are people that literally just are that fast.
Yeah, I mean, I've got pretty good hand-eye coordination still, so I mean, that's
me too. I can do things at the drop of a dime, but I mean, that quick, like snap, no.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because also I'm more of a PvE, which is a player versus environment, which basically you like to play the game. You don't really like to engage in player versus player combat. But there are people that live for PvP. And while I'm okay with it, especially like in Gears casual or Halo casual, that's not like my existence in gaming. I like to have the story. I like to do the story part. That's why with Sea of Thieves, I love it so much. And I'm trying to get Brant to play it again. But Jesse says hello.
What's up, Jesse?
Hi, Jesse. But at the same time, I get annoyed because it's an open world where literally anyone can come up. I was doing my stream where I was updating Twitch on I was doing the highlights from my update from Dark Avenger Live in July. I literally was there just to tell everybody what the future is for Dark Avenger Gaming, to announce the YouTube channel for Dark Avenger Gaming. And out of nowhere, I was just going to go fishing. Out of nowhere, another boat comes and just tries to sink. I just grab all my stuff and let my boat sink. Because there are people in the game that literally live for the combat. I live for the adventure. I just want to do the adventure. I wish that they would find a way to make private servers, so this way you can go on, and if you just don't want to be bothered by any other player except your friends, you can. Yeah. Obviously, that's not anytime soon. And
that would be cool, though.
I would love it. They made Arena for the people that have that itch that want to just fight all the time, and it took some of them out, but there are still people in the open world that just – I love that background. Is that Apex, though, or is that –
No, that's Fortnite.
Oh, that's Fortnite 10. Season 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. Let me take our camera. Well, if I take our camera up, put it in the overlay so people can see it also. Okay. But I don't know. I'm more of a cat. I'm No Man's Sky. There's the Season 10. Those are all the skins you can get with Season 10. They look pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. I like them.
Oh, yeah. So, No Man's Sky just updated so you can put VR on now. The game is finally where it was supposed to be like 3 years ago when it first came out. It would be cool if you could get a Halo suit in Sea of Thieves. Ironically, Jesse, you're going to die when I tell you this. I closed that way too quick.
Yeah.
Ironically, Jesse, if you played the game, if you were anywhere in the first year of Sea of Thieves and you just logged in at their anniversary, you got a Halo boat skin, a Halo app statue, and you get the Halo sales and the mini sale, all for free. And that's how funny it was. I have a Halo boat. I don't have a Halo suit, but I have a Halo boat now, and I've sailed with it, and it's glorious.
It would be funny if they did like a pirate version of a Halo suit.
I hope they do that. I mean, when Xbox comes out and the new Halo comes out, why not do it for Halo?
Yeah.
A pirate suit for your character in the PvP.
There you go.
See, that's the thing. Gears, Halo, Call of Duty, I'm falling out of quick. The only reason I'm getting Modern Warfare is because it's Modern Warfare. That's what brought me into Call of Duty. But those are the ones where I'll play PvP. When it comes to Division, Sea of Thieves, I just want to play the game. I just want to have fun. I don't care about PvP as much. I don't know. Fortnite is also PvP.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole point of Fortnite, unless you're playing Save the World, which I like Save the World, but everybody forgot about that. When I reviewed the game, everybody was like, and I was like, okay, fine. Don't like the game. I like it.
It's because, I mean, at least in my case, when I play Fortnite, it's just like I just want some like dumb distraction, just sit there and go out and shoot people and just be done with it.
Sometimes you get frustrated, like I did sometime this week. And I was like, Brant, get your freaking headset so we can play freaking Fortnite. We're missing season 10. They're already on week 2, going on 3, and they only do 10 weeks per season.
You can hear. I mean, I remember when we played the last time and stuff. You can hear when Chris gets frustrated. Can't see Chris, but when Chris is done, it's like, I'm done, and you hear the control hit the thing. I'm done, and you're gone. Chris is gone before you can even say bye or anything. He's just disappeared.
I never left a party with you without saying goodbye. I left the game.
Yeah, the game. That's what I'm talking about. You're just like, it's over, and yeah. It's like, okay, well, I guess we're done playing.
Yeah, I left the game several times because I got frustrated.
Yeah.
But you got to understand, I was in frustrating situations outside of gaming, so
I know.
An added frustration. But nowadays, I'm a little bit more lax. I played Fortnite for the first time in a year, and I got to 4th place.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how I did that. I told you the story.
Yeah.
I made it all the way to number 4, and then I died. I was like, oh, you had to take that from me. My first round back, you couldn't give me the number 2 spot at least.
You know, speaking of Fortnite, I do have that llama still.
Do you have it with you right now?
It's in my closet right there.
Dude, take it out.
You open it? Okay, I'll be right back.
By the way, they made a second one. They did make that second one. I've got to find it.
Did they?
Yeah, but get the first one. Yeah, that'd be cool. That's a cool way to end the show.
Yeah.
Well, while Brant is getting his llama, I'll zoom in so this way you don't see no camera. But yeah, I've gotten into a couple of games. I will say, and could you close that? Thank you. I did mention that in the next console gen, we got something here. I haven't played Fortnite in quite a while. Same with Overwatch. Jesse, if you have it for Xbox or PlayStation, I have Fortnite for both. I do not have Overwatch for Xbox, but I might get it, seeing as the new Xbox is going to play all the old Xbox or the Xbox One games plus all the older games as well. So, okay, Brant's back. Thank you for putting it back to both of us.
Yep.
So I might get Overwatch if you have it for Xbox or Xbox. I might get it in general. There's the llama. Hold on. Llama. Boop. Actually, is there a way for me to do this? No, because it'll only make me big. Actually, you do it. You do that on your end. It might make you big.
Which one is it? No.
Hold on. Let me do it again. No, it makes me big because it's on my account. It's on me. Let me see if. Nah, that's just gonna make us both close. It's all right. I'll Can I do this? No. Okay. So we're gonna just focus on Brant. There you go.
There we go. All right. So it actually does tell you what's in here. I don't remember what's in here. I haven't looked at this for a long time. I was gonna open it on. Lisa and I were doing a channel that Little Victories, I think is what we were doing, and we kind of halted on it for a while. But I've been holding this ever since, and decided I would open it on this show. So it tells right in there what's in it, but I'm not gonna look, so I can be surprised.
Well, I already opened it, so anybody who watched this channel already saw it.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know, so it's exciting. So how do you open it? You just
Stop. First, take the plastic off the body.
Well, that would be helpful, wouldn't it?
No. Do you have a knife and/or scissor near you?
No, but I can rip.
Okay. You want to rip, but no. Well, you're going to need it for the next part. Okay. Now, at the bottom of the llama, if you look, you didn't take the plastic off yet. Yeah.
Got it. There
you go. Now, if you look at the bottom of the llama, there's a flap.
Bottom of the llama. I never thought I'd be looking at the bottom of a llama, but here I am. That's what we do on Kristin Brant Show. Look at the bottom of llamas.
It's right in the middle, right in the bottom. Just rip the thing open. You don't want to save it.
There was more plastic. I was taking the plastic off.
I'm sorry. I was looking at Michael because Michael was talking to me at the same time. I thought you were having
And then there's tape.
There you go.
There's the flap.
Yay! He found the flap, everyone.
Found the flap on the bottom of the llama.
There you go. Now stop.
There we
go.
go.
You got to just flip it upside down and let all the stuff come out.
See, now I thought I was going to get a stick and be able to hit the crap out of this thing. And,
Nope.
No. Wow. I actually do have stuff falling out. There's going to be stuff all over the place.
You got to hold it upside. No, hold it up so everybody can see.
I'm trying. I got this streamer stuff falling everywhere.
Oh, you got to show it. Go ahead, drop it all. Shake it.
That's wonderful. It's all over my computer now. Thank you.
Is there any more? Make sure nothing's stuck in the neck.
I have my hand up the butt of the llama. My fingers are in its mouth. There's nothing left. There's nothing left. I'm telling you. Except for that.
Oh, confetti.
So much confetti.
Wait, let me see what it looks like. Can you bend the camera?
Oh.
Yep. That's what happened to me.
Yeah. That's a lot of confetti. That's going to be fun cleaning up. All for you people. All for our viewers.
All right, so
You're
you
welcome.
want to start with a bigger bag.
Wait, I got to pop up this comment. Hold on. JLS.
The llama was terrified that you were doing it.
He was not happy. I assure you. All right, so here we go. I don't know what's what, but we'll go with the first one here. Let's see what we got here. We've got.
Oh, you got to put it together.
It's like a puzzle?
Yep.
All right. Oh, Lord. Let me do this on the show.
Oh, it's easy. It's just hinges.
Oh, okay. Got it. There's. Terrible. Terrible on the spot.
Do,
Like
do,
that.
do, 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 do.
How does this go? It goes like, no. Is that right? Is that right? You can't see it.
Give me 1 sec, Brant. While you're putting that together, I got to fix something.
Got me constructing stuff on. You know what? I'm not going to do this right now. It comes together like this somehow. So use your imagination, people.
I heard that.
Going on to the next thing. It's going to take me too long and just have more dead air. So we got a bow tie, a ribbon, a something interesting. Yeah, well, that's a gun. This is so exciting. I'm talking to myself opening.
Nope, I'm back. I'm sorry. I need a Band-Aid.
Need a Band-Aid.
Yeah, I don't worry about it. Oh, it's a shotgun.
Yep.
Shotgun.
Got another one here.
Yeah, the one thing I liked about this llama was it's really cool because if you don't get the llama, there's the packs that you can get in the store, like the treasure chest, and they only come with like a handful of guns as well.
Yeah.
And they kind of tell you what's in it. So again, there's no mystery to it.
Right. I like. Oh, there we go. Rocket launcher.
There you go. Yeah, all this stuff is guaranteed, but it's nice to see everything you get in there. I'm waiting for you to find the character.
Yeah. Oh, get the backpack.
Nope, that's one of them.
One of them. I think the character might be in my lap somewhere.
It might be. It's in the biggest bag.
Feels kind of heavy down there.
But yeah, Jesse mentioned he does actually have Overwatch for PlayStation. So Jesse, I mean, man, you got to catch us on. I know, Brant, did you get Overwatch?
No.
Okay, Brant has to get Overwatch, but we could Overwatch. We could Fortnite. Jesse, re-download Fortnite. We could 4-person squad, man. We got to get a 4th person, but we could 3P squad. Machine gun.
Another big thing. Just another one of those puzzle things. Yes.
Yep, that one is for. Yep, that's the other one. Not putting it together. Like,
nope.
So if you watch this on my channel, you can go to the unboxing video and you can find all this stuff. I had a hard time doing the first one as well.
Grenade launcher.
Yeah, that's an epic grenade launcher.
Yeah. So many bags.
There are a lot of. I don't know why, but they give so many different guns and I love how the bags say Fortnite on it. By the way.
Yeah, this one doesn't, but all the rest of them did.
If that one doesn't, that might be the fig.
No, it's
backpack. Okay.
Another backpack. Got
That's
3 more, 4 more.
4 more guns. But yeah, I guess this will probably be where we're going to start to close out with Brant doing the Fortnite. Are there any games you want to talk about? I know, Brant, you haven't gamed in a bit.
Yeah, no, the last thing I played was the last WWE game, and they're about to come out with a new one.
We got to get you into some more games, man.
Yeah, I know. I just haven't had time to game properly. I always start getting the itch towards the holidays. There's another backpack.
Yep.
So it's starting to get to me now. So I've been staring it out over there and been like, I'm gonna play something soon. So maybe I'll start with Fortnite and then we'll see where it goes from there. Okay, 3 more. Yeah, the figure is the last one.
Okay, it's fine to be the last one. It's actually good that way. This way it leaves the best to last.
Yeah, it was buried under everything. Sniper, maybe?
Yep, that's sniper rifle.
And I think this is the last other one. Oops.
Oops.
Dropped it. There we go. All right. And then the figure.
Because, of course, you paid $15 for that. They better give you a figure.
All right. I remember when this particular figure...
Star-Lord. Or version of Star-Lord.
Yeah.
I think it was called Junk Lord.
Or something Duster or... I don't know.
The llama tag has it.
Is the...
Junk Lord.
Rust Lord.
Rust Lord!
That's what it was. Rust Lord figure. I remember when they came out with it. I forget what season it was, but this was
2.
Like the special one.
2 or 3.
Yeah. So that's cool. It's like a G.I. Joe. The 3.5-inch G.I. Joe.
Yeah, it makes you want to go out and buy the rest of them now, huh?
Yeah. I've wanted them for a while. I see them in Target every time I go. Yeah, thank you. But yeah. It's not as flexible as a G.I. Joe, but
no, be very careful.
Yeah.
I literally thought I was going to break its arm a few times.
Yeah, the arms don't bend. That's weird.
They do, but you need to work them very, very gently.
Okay. Yeah, see, I'm having a hard time. It's like, oh, I got a straight arm. I can't bend my elbow.
Yeah, you got to work that plastic really carefully.
Okay. Good to know.
No, Tevya, you've asked me a million times if I've played Judgment. I don't plan. Hold on, let me zoom in on Brant a minute. Oh, never mind. Yeah. Oh, wrong one. Not me. Ah.
It won't focus. There. Almost.
Ah.
Why won't it focus? Focus.
Put your faces in it. Put your hand up to cover the background of the feet. There you go.
Good enough.
That's fine. That's why I gave up. I actually turned off the auto zoom on my camera because I just no. No, it doesn't work anymore. Hurry up.
I can't even find my mouse. Get off.
Okay. So I've played Ultimate Alliance 3 on the Switch a little bit. I actually got Friday the 13th this week for the Switch. And a lot of people commented and said, is that game even still relevant? Yes. People still play it. Believe it or not, people still play it. Brad's looking at it.
Oh, you can keep talking. I was just showing some of the.
Yeah, no, I
characters.
wanted to get it on you. So those are all the gun toys you can get. Yeah, there's a bunch of packs. You know what I got real quick since we're doing games, and then I'll kind of call it because it is getting late.
Yeah.
I got 2 new Xbox controllers. PlayStation doesn't do this yet, or well enough that it's known for it. Xbox makes some of the coolest controllers. These are actually 2 controllers that came out during the Gears of War 4 time. And I actually wanted to let me zoom in on me. I wanted to get them before Gears 5 comes out because I'm getting the Gears 5 controller. This is the JD controller, and every line you see, all these lines right here, all of them are actually etched into the controller. That go all the way around the lines, the bolts that you see, it's all etched in. This is not a picture. Even the Gears symbol is etched in. So this is all like etched in controller. This one I like. This one was the hardest one to find. It's the rarer of the 2. This one you could find a lot easier, but honestly, I love what they did with this one. This one, the claw marks are all, you could see it if the light shines. There you go. All the claw marks are etched in. You have a thumbprint on the D-pad. You got the Gears symbol here. And then in the back, both of them have the same back, except obviously in different colors. You have the Phoenix symbol. But these are some, I mean, when you get some, you go into detail where, like, even over here, where you laser etch the controller, and it still works and plays like an amazing controller. I love it. I love how Xbox does these variant controllers. PlayStation doesn't do them as well. They definitely don't do any of the laser etching for, how is that game still alive? That game is still alive, Tevia, because people like Friday the 13th. But I love how Xbox does it. I just got my Phantom Black controller. Like I said, I'm getting a Gears 5 controller. Xbox makes it very hard to turn down. I'm opening it back up for both of us. To not really want to have a small controller collection. PlayStation, you can get a bunch of different colors, but I don't feel like they've done any type of variant where you're like, I need this.
I guess, I mean, I think those are really cool. They look really cool and they're really well done. I don't understand. I guess I'm just not a controller collector.
Well, also, another thing is these work with your computer. So let's say I didn't have an Xbox. This Bluetooths to a computer.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's fine. The functionality and everything, it's great.
You just mean like why people would buy so many different controllers?
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. It's just another thing people collect, I guess. It's just not my
It's not something you would do. No, I agree. Yeah. Honestly, I never found myself as interested. The only controllers I truly like, the reason I got the Phantom White controller was because my standard one broke. And I was like, well, there's a black one. It's cheaper. Yeah. But the black one went out of stock. So I was like, I'll get the white for now. And then when the black one comes in, I'll get that. Because white, white gets dirty so easy. Sea of Thieves, I got that because I loved Sea of Thieves. I mean, literally, that's all I talked about before it came out. And even after it came out, I enjoyed it. And still to this day, I love Sea of Thieves. Yeah. The Gears ones, the only reason I got them is because Gears 5 is coming out. And both of these went on sale, and they were, like, really cheap.
I mean, no, go ahead.
And like I was saying, I'm getting the Gears 5 controller, so I figured it would go nice with that. Otherwise, I'm very happy with my Phantom Black, and I'll probably be playing with just my Phantom Black controller for a long time, unless that breaks.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's good to have, like, backups because they don't last forever, especially if you play them a lot. And you at least need 2 so you can play multiple people. But
oh, yeah, that's another thing. Multiplayer, I'll have at least 2 controllers now for 2 people to play in the couch game.
So I'm not faulting it at all. I was just curious the motivation behind it is all.
Oh, yeah, no, honestly, it's just because I have the, what do you call it? The gear. Actually, I just noticed something. If you put these 2 together, yeah, I was right. If you put these 2 controllers together, the boxes, how is that game still?
Oops,
yeah, I did that.
An
That
accident.
was 13.
I accidentally hit a button, sorry.
If you look at the background for the controllers, it actually makes a full picture.
Oh, cool.
I didn't even realize that until just now when I had them side by side with one another.
That's neat. Yeah.
That's really cool. I didn't even know that. And even the backs do it. Jeez. You learn something new by putting boxes side by side.
I'm curious out there if any of the viewers have like a controller collection and which ones you have and what makes you buy a specific controller over another one.
I don't know if JD is saying not yet, but I want to for the controllers, or for what Tevia asked, which is, has anybody seen Invader Zim or Rocco's Modern Life specials? I have not seen either of those. I know Invader Zim's on Netflix.
I don't watch either of those, so I have not seen anything.
Only one I would watch both. I love Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah.
Invader Zim I kind of jumped into because I like the voice actor. But that just means it's on. Honestly, I'm looking forward. I have an Xbox One X that I might be getting, which is why my PS5 is not happening, and I'm getting just the new Xbox when it comes out. I'm going to let PS5 kind of shrink in price.
I have refilled the llama. The llama is whole once more.
You worry me, man. Both are on Netflix. Okay, thank you, Tevia. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Gears 5 in September and Borderlands 3 in September. Gears 5, like I said, I might be getting the special Xbox One X, and that's what's going to take the funds for the PS5. But I'll always have the new Xbox when it comes out, as Brant is trying to put a little lower, man. A little lower. You're cutting the llama off. There you go. Now it at least looks like a little lower. You can go even more.
No, I don't want to go any lower.
Okay, you know what? Hi, Pete. What? Pirantha? I think he wants to say the
Piranha.
Pinata,
maybe.
Brant Llama. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not even gonna touch on. If it works, I'm done. I'm done with tonight. I'm done with the Kristin Brant Show tonight. I want to thank everyone who is here for the 2 hours and the minute now. I want to thank everybody who comes post live. But when you see a 2 hour live show, I don't see too many people sticking around without.
Trying to break into the llama, just like on the game.
Brent's getting slap happy. Speaking of the morning stream that we did before. What's up, SM Down? Unfortunately, you're missing the show, but hopefully you'll watch it on the rewind. Thank you for showing up. We do have the giveaway. Don't forget, we will be giving away a digital version of Hush. All you have to do to enter to get a digital version of the Hush movie is to say enter me, and Brant and I will get everyone who said enter me. So far we have 2 entrants, and the winner is going to get a DM with the code to get a Hush digital movie if you didn't watch it. If you have a DC streaming service, you don't need it.
Do we want to give a cutoff on that in case somebody's watching us like a week later?
Yes, it's 48 hours. We're giving it 2 days. So by Monday we're doing the drawing. I will actually put in the description that the sweepstakes, SM Down has been entered. I will put in the description when the sweepstakes is over. So this way, everybody who's watching this beyond that point, I got you, man. You're entered. Don't worry. So that way, anybody who wants to enter, it's too late. But don't worry, I have a bunch of digital movies, so we'll be doing more giveaways. So definitely come by the show. Next month, we'll be doing a Brant and Chris show over on Brant's channel. So if you're not subscribed, go subscribe, because the banner next time is going to be switching to the Brant and Chris show. But right now, it's Kristin Brant Show. But I would like to also, I'm going to ignore you, Brant, because you are utterly distracting. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and click the bell, because apparently YouTube algorithm is so far out there that the only way you're going to know anytime anyone is doing anything is if you click the bell. So if you like what you see here, if you like the videos I post on my channel, click the bell. You can follow Brad and I on all our social medias at Dark Avenger C86 across the board, except on Twitch. Twitch is Dark Avenger Gaming, and this channel is Chris DeBudwo. And you can find Brant at Brant Fowler and all over the place. Last Ember Press. And I wanted to almost say Zone 4 Podcast.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. It's
no
gone.
More.
It's no more. Also, don't forget to check out ShootingStarUniverse.com. That's where all of my content, everything from social media So every single channel I work on YouTube, you can find all of that there. Brant, stop playing with the
Well,
finger.
I'm just holding it. It's just swaying.
Beep.
You can also find us every Tuesday on Comic Frontline.
Yes, you can. On Comic Frontline, I like the red one. It blends less with the background. You can find us every Tuesday on Comic Frontline. Again, we are powered by Streamyard. So if you'd like to do live streams on YouTube right now, we lost Hangouts, but StreamYards is a million times better. Click the link in the description below. It helps us out. If you decide you like StreamYards, it helps StreamYards out because you are a new StreamYards basic payer. I don't know. You're a StreamYards supporter, and it helps you out because you get all the awesome stuff that we're doing right here on Streamlabs for paying StreamYard. God, I'm so used to Streamlabs because of stupid Twitch. I love Twitch, but I'm used to StreamYards. But yes, you can find all that stuff on StreamYard. Thank you all so much for being here. We'll see you all next time. This is Kristin Brant Show. Whoop, whoop. And we're going to be saying, no, wrong show. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Wrong show.